That's that.
So hi, nice of you to join us again. Mark and I have met today and we're going to discuss something which we often see in practice, and it's the drama triangle. So we want to spend a little bit of time with you today, and maybe you're involved, or maybe you have been, maybe you don't even know what it is. So Mark, the drama triangle, what is it?
Yeah, well, it's quite a good title, isn't it? Like drama and triangle, because we'll show you in a minute. It's a triangle, but it's called the drama triangle because it's a way of looking at how we might be in relationships with other people, and it kind of shows us three different roles that we might play. So this can be really useful to identify the role that we are most most often used to playing when we're in relationships with other people, because if we can be aware of it, we might be able to change our patterns, and we can also find ourselves pulled into this way of relating to others, even if we don't want to. So I'm going to share a picture of the drama triangle so everyone can see what we're on about.
Lovely.
So very simple little picture, isn't it?
It is.
So you can see
the rescuer, the persecutor, and the victim at the bottom there.
That's it. So the idea behind this model is that in relationships, we might find ourselves playing one of these roles. So, of course, if you are a victim, you will need a persecutor, because you can't be a victim unless someone's persecuting you. So, you know, you can think of this sometimes in relationships, you might kind of say, well, it's not me, it's you, there's nothing I can do about it, seeing the other person as the persecutor or the bad guy in it.
Yeah.
If we're in the victim position, we're going to want a rescuer, because it's not nice to be a victim, is it? So we find ourselves wanting to be rescued by someone.
Yeah.
So the rescuer position there just kind of suggests that a victim is going to need a rescuer.
Very much so. And I think with the victim, there is a sincere feeling that they're hard done by, they're oppressed, it's everybody else's fault, there's no self-accountability. Yeah. I believe the rescuer will stand up because it's let me help you, let me forgive I don't need any help, I don't. And who generally plays the role of the persecutor?
Could be anyone, couldn't it?
Yeah,
so I don't know, if we think of perhaps someone at work and you've got a manager who I don't know, is difficult or you think treats you badly, then the manager might be the persecutor. You'd be the victim of the bad manager, and you'd be looking for a rescuer. So maybe you take it to the boss of the company or something, or you'd, I don't know, go home and talk to your partner about how badly you've been treated, hoping that they would rescue you.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So let's kind of put that into context. I think maybe we might see in practice. So we may have a victim who believes that everything is her partner's fault. If only he could be happier. Look at me sitting here on my own and I'm so unhappy, and all I need is for him to come home and look after me. Let me make sure if this person is a rescuing type, he's going to devote himself to her, make sure all the needs are met, that she's not left alone, she hasn't got any self-accountability. It's very easy, isn't it, as the rescuer to then move across to being perceived as the persecutor as well if you don't meet their needs.
Oh, absolutely. Because if you have been cast in the rescuer role and you didn't even know you'd been put in the rescuer role and you didn't rescue, then you might be seen as the persecutor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the dance goes on, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It goes, you can be in any one of these positions. So it's not like you're fixed as the rescuer or the persecutor or the victim. You could play any of these roles in a dysfunctional relationship dynamic.
And this is a very dysfunctional dynamic, isn't it?
Very.
Yes.
It very often will play out in families.
It will.
Very often, if you, I guess probably anybody watching this would see this play out in their family dynamic, wouldn't they? Where somebody in the family is seen as the bad guy, the persecutor. There'll be somebody else who's the victim of that, and there'll be somebody who traditionally will kind of rescue the victim from the bad effects of the persecutor. But of course, the idea isn't that we just choose one of these roles to play. The idea is that we step out of the drama triangle totally, so that we don't play any of them.
Yes, that's right.
This is a dysfunctional model. We need to step out of it and say, no, I'm actually not going to play the role of rescuer, persecutor, or victim.
Yes.
Because it doesn't work, really.
That's a big thing for people to do. I think, part of absolutely recognizing, okay, I'm playing the rescuer role, for instance, and then stepping outside of it is completely doable. But I know for a lot of people that takes a lot of help to step outside, because of course the guilt, if they're not going to rescue the victim, what's going to happen? The victim can generally be very, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to, nothing good. And of course the rescuer's usually got a big heart.
Yeah.
And on it goes.
Yeah.
How do you get out of the triangle? You say step back, but for some people, that's almost like climbing Everest, isn't
It's
it?
hard. The first step, I think, always awareness.
Yes.
I've got this little mantra: awareness equals choice equals change. So if I'm aware of something, I might make a choice and I might choose to change. So if I'm aware that I often play the role of victim in relationships, then I can think, hang on a minute, am I being the victim right now? And in which case I don't want to be. So I'm going to step out of it. Or am I rescuing someone here? Am I trying to make it all better for them? In which case I might step out and choose not to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the way we recognise we're caught up in this is the way we feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because either of those three roles, they're all awful to play.
Yeah.
It will make us feel out of balance, out of sorts, depressed, fed up, anxious.
Yeah.
And I think when we do step outside the drama triangle, what clients definitely realise is a feeling of, oh, that's better.
Yeah. It can be huge to step out of it though, because these are entrenched patterns of relating, aren't they? So if you learned to be the rescuer or the victim or the persecutor in your family, to step out of it 30, 40 years later is not easy.
No.
So awareness is part of it, but then there might need to be some work done to actually make it possible to step out of it.
Most definitely.
Because the other people involved in it won't like it, will they? So if your familiar role is being the rescuer and you suddenly stop being the rescuer, the victim is not going to like that.
No, they're
so
not.
Before you know it, the victim will cast you in the role of persecutor because you're being the bad guy now.
That's right. That's right.
It's
yes.
hard. It is hard because of the entrenched patterns of this.
But with everything, I think it's exactly what you said, isn't it? As soon as we become self-aware, then we have a choice. And change is possible. So, but I think it no longer serves us to walk through life just saying, "Oh, life's so hard on me, people are so hard." We've got to look at our own role in our own suffering, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whenever we fit into the triangle.
Yeah.
Anything else to add to that, Mark?
Well, in terms of being aware of it as well, one thing that I know that kind of shows me I'm in victim is if I start like moaning about someone, like saying, oh, you know, they're so this or so that or so the other, because then okay, so I'm making them the persecutor, in which case I must be the victim.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I'm moaning about someone, I guess it's a cue to let me think, hang on a minute, am I in the drama triangle dynamic here?
You got it.
Let me step out. I don't want to be the victim in this. Let me step out of that. And what could I then do with this person that's kind of more empowered, you know, in a more empowered or a more enlightened way?
Brilliant. Also, it's going to lead me on. So I would definitely step into the role of rescuer. Yeah. And I know when I'm in that because I'm Googling someone and how to make life better for them rather than actually listening to their life. And each of the roles, it's actually nothing to do with the other person. It's all about the self, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I rescue, I feel better. If I can blame, I feel better. If I can persecute, I feel better.
Yeah.
So it's all very jumbled up, isn't it? But it's
very confused, very dysfunctional. And yeah, the only way really is to step out of it. It's the only way, because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't.
No. I think the only exclusion to this that I put in is if someone is the victim of something horrendous like abuse or the victim of crime, because being a victim has really bad press, doesn't it? Like everyone says, well, I don't want to be a victim. But actually, you know, if you have been abused, if you have been burgled, if you have been attacked or mugged, you actually are the victim of some horrible crime.
You are.
And so in that case, there was a bad guy. It wasn't the mugger, the abuser or whatever. You know, you could say they were the bad guy in that. And I think that's slightly different. So I just wanted to say that in case people thought that, oh, actually, I shouldn't play the victim when I've been mugged. Well, actually, you are the victim of the mugging. So allow yourself to own that you were the victim of the mugging and then do whatever processing you need to do around that so you can then step out of being the victim. But I think that's very different to just always being the victim in a relational setting.
Absolutely. So in a family, that might show up as someone being absolutely incapable of doing something for themselves. Life is hard. No progress is ever really made.
Always needing someone to look after them, make it better for them.
And the rescuer will come in and soothe that because they don't want to risk the confrontation of saying no.
Because that's the biggie with this, is why this is so difficult, because stepping out of it risks confrontation.
Yes.
People are terrified of confrontation, aren't they?
They really, really are. So a very big subject condensed down beautifully.
Yeah, just a bite-sized chunk on the drama triangle. There's loads more information about it online. If you're interested in reading more, just give it a little Google. But hopefully that was a little kind of snippet to whet your appetite.
Okay, lovely. And do leave us some comments if you've got any questions, and Mark and I will try and answer them. And as always, a like and a subscription really helps our algorithm, and it helps us just keep going. And
I learned this week it also helps more people to be aware of what we're doing. I didn't realise that. So
it does. Yeah, it's a bonus. So
more people see the stuff we're putting out.
That's right. So for now, take care of yourselves and we'll see you soon.
Bye for now.